Hello, Internet. It's the Pennsylvania Hitman, the most thugged out gangster in all of MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. If you're new here, thanks for dropping in. I sure hope you'll subscribe, stick around, and hear some shit I have to say. If you're already a subscriber, you already know you, my dogs. Alright, the next question. Next question was from Jake Timko. He said, what advice would you say to someone who is having trouble adopting new styles and habits by new coaches from what you were taught religiously by your previous coach, BJJ and boxing? Have you done it before, and what do you think helped the most? That's a super good question, and man, that's a tough question. Man, that one is really hard. I really had to think about this one for a minute because you want to handle that situation right. And the one thing which is cool about Jiu-Jitsu, why Jiu-Jitsu is an art, is I can do a technique one way, you can do a technique another way, and they both will work. And each person is going to think his way is better because that's what he does to do the technique, whether it be a mount escape, some sort of arm bar. You know, everything in Jiu-Jitsu, the mechanics are basically the same. So the mechanics are definitely fundamental. So if this coach is telling you something that that is wrong as far as the fundamentals, the fundamentals are always the same no matter who's teaching you. You know, the fundamentals and the leverage points and stuff are all exactly the same. So it kind of depends. He might be changing it up a little bit. If you really feel like this coach is wrong, you don't want to argue with him or debate about it. Check out some other gyms. Don't say anything. I would just suggest probably checking out some other gyms, maybe trying out some classes somewhere else, and maybe this previous instructor you just didn't gel with, and go find an instructor that you gel with a little better, or try it his way for a little bit, and maybe you'll like it a little bit, and maybe you can blend the two together. Try that. If the instructor is really persistent on you doing it his way, and you really feel like you'd rather do it the other way, then I would drill it the way he wants you to do it, and then when I live grappled, I would just do it the way I want to do it, is what I would suggest. Or the third option is you could kind of talk to be like, look, I've been doing it this way for so long. I really feel comfortable doing it this way. Like, is it really a big deal if I do it my way? And you got to kind of judge the instructor before you do that one. If you think the guy would be a dick and he wouldn't take to having that conversation really well, then definitely don't have that discussion with him. You might offend him. You might get him mad or something. His ego might get involved or something, especially if you said you learned it from someone else and you really like that way of doing it. But if you think he's a reasonable guy and he can have an adult conversation about it without being a dick, then try talking to him about it and see what he says, and maybe he'll be all right. Maybe like, yeah, that's a good way to do it too. I don't care if you do it that way. Or maybe he'll say, try it my way. So I kind of feel like those three options are your best option. Go check out some other schools, and maybe you'll just kind of like how they run things a little bit better than where you're at now. Or second option is drill it the way the coach wants you to do it, and then when you live grapple, just do it your way. Or the third option is having a conversation with him and try to explain it to him, and be real sincere and respectful when you have the conversation with him about it, if you choose to do that. So that's what I would suggest. That's a tough one because that kind of puts you in a pickle with between instructors. So I hope that helps. Good luck with that. And if you try one of those things, message me, let me know. I'm kind of curious to see how it worked out for you, and I hope my advice helps you.